Hey, what is up, YouTube? Welcome back to the channel. It's Will coming at you with another episode of BMW E90 HQ. And so in my last video, I mentioned I was getting new tires put on my car, and I showed them. They were not on the car yet in that video. They were just in the trunk of the Cadillac. And sorry, it's starting to rain, but hopefully I can get this video up and done before it does. Anyway, so I got those tires put on the car, and it was great. I mean, the ride comfort was just so much better. You know, it was great. There was like a charity car show up in Raleigh, and I went up to that, and everything was great. And just got to see some awesome cars there. But on the way to the show, I had my girlfriend and my aunt and my daughter all in the car, and we went over some train tracks at not what I would call fast, but you know, maybe 25, 30 miles an hour. And the tires, the front driver's side tire made contact with the bumper and knocked it out of place. Now, I already fixed it. I didn't make a video fixing it. I just, I'll explain to you what happened entirely. So I went up a size in tire. So as you can see, these tires are really big. I mean, I did not think they were gonna be this big. These are 235 40 18s. And my old tires were 225 40 18s, so I was not thinking it would be a whole lot. You know, I had test fit those spacers, those 10mm spacers, and I didn't have any issues with that. But these tires must have just run really big, and the tires that I had before must have just run extremely small. Anyway, so the tires actually increased the ride height just a little bit of the car. Like some curbs, like driveways that I used to go into and scrape a little bit, I'm not scraping on anymore, just from the extra tiny little bit of ride height they've given me. And as you can see, I mean, there's not much room to play with. I mean, like look, like that's one finger at a very sharp angle. You know, I can't take my hand and do that even. There's no room. And especially closer to the bumper. I mean, it even chewed away my fender liner. I mean, this is insane. I'm gonna have to raise the car up and get a new fender liner if I do keep this car for any amount of time. Man, it's intense, but the ride quality is much better. I mean, I can't really show you the improved feeling, but it's just you're gonna have to trust me on it. It's so much better. I think from going from just having the cheap, crappy rim shop tires to you know, getting some decent tires. I mean, these are Federal 595, so they're pretty average. They're kind of like lower end of good tires, but they are what I would consider is a good tire. And they have a lot more grip. I mean, my back, I've got Continentals on the rear here, but they're you know, they're old now. I guess they've been on there a while, maybe 10,000, 15,000 miles. You know, they're not like bald, but they're not new either. And I can really feel the front just grips the road so much better than it did before. And the rear is like, I can feel the rear is ready to give, and the front's just like, is this it? I've got more. So I really think, you know, that the 328, while it is a good car, definitely doesn't make the power to really push this chassis to the limits. I mean, even with my 3-stage manifold, the exhaust, the tune, all that, I can really tell just from going to these somewhat good tires. I mean, I'm not even talking like, these aren't like Michelin Pilot Cup 2s or anything like that. These are just you know, decent tires, and I can feel that this car really wouldn't make the power to push this to its limit at all. So I'm really like, you know, now I'm like, yeah, I need to get a 335i or an M3 or something, maybe an M3, you know. I'm not really scared off by a car with high mileage, and you just do all the maintenance, make sure the rod bearings are done. Anyway, though, what I want to say is good tires make a huge difference on a car. I was digressing on the M3. Give me some support to go buy an M3, and maybe I'll do it in the comments. What is it? Oh, man. I mean, they just make so much of a difference, but I really have to raise the car up if I want this bumper to stay on. It also, somehow, I don't know how it happened, guys, but if you look, you can see that that's not quite in properly. I mean, it was really out. That's how much I could get it in without dismounting the bumper. I don't know what it did when I hit those train tracks. But I don't have any issues rubbing whatsoever if I'm alone in the car. And even with a fully loaded car, the rubbing issues were really minor. So I'm talking about like maybe raising this car up Oh, I don't know, like a centimeter tops, maybe. Let me know what kind of tires you run on your car and how do you like them? How much did they cost? You know, all the information that someone would need to know to make an informed decision about purchasing the tires. Anyway guys, please leave this video a big thumbs up. Subscribe to the channel if you are new, and there will be lots of exciting content, you know, new cars, new mods, all sorts of stuff guys, so just stay tuned.